Welcome to Global Leadership Workshop 2017. My name is Pranay Raj Shakya. I'm your Vice President Education for 2015, 2016 and 2017. This is my second year as your Vice President. And with my theme for employability, I've initiated Global Leadership Workshop since 2014. And when I become a sabbatical officer, I could use my post to create more opportunities for students to attend these events and trainings. Leadership styles are different in terms of person, their personality, their experience and knowledge. But we all can, as I said earlier, can increase our capacity to work more to become an ideal leader. Either it may be Mohan Chand Karamchand Gandhi, who did a lot of work and made India get its freedom, or maybe the audacity of hope in America, who was Barack Obama, who was the first black president. It differs as per person.
To speak about global leadership in our time is a very important thing, simply because we are living in a world that's falling apart, it seems. Who would have thought last year this time that our country will vote to leave the European Union? And then who would have imagined that the President of America will be voted in on his particular drive to build a wall between America and Mexico? That's an unthinkable thing. Some perspectives I have about what I think a leader should be. I was never trained to be a leader. I was an academic, serving on 4 continents of the world, ending up in Liverpool, without any sense that one day I'll be a vice chancellor of a university. That was not what I trained to be. I trained to be an academic and grew up in South Africa.
So basically what I'm going to be talking to you about today is thinking about global leaders, and I'm trying to get a range of global leaders for us to look at and talk about their body language and what we can learn from them, what you can take away from that. First impression is as you walk in the room. The second, usually, is when you're shaking someone's hand, whether you're going for an interview or whether you're meeting somebody in a meeting. Okay, I want you to turn to the person next to you and shake the hand. Shake the hand. I want you to think about. Okay, and I want you to turn around and shake hands with the person either behind you or with somebody else. Right. Okay. Now I want to think about how satisfying was that handshake?
I feel much better.
No.
Command and control leadership has dominated organisations, but a change in thinking is forcing organisations to rethink what an optimal style of leadership should be in an increasingly diverse world. In today's session, we're going to ask delegates to look at the principles of inclusive leadership, and then we're going to provide them with a range of leaders from around the world, from different sectors, and ask them to explore what they value in those leaders.
She's not afraid to say that much things, is she? I think it's good she promotes like LGBT rights and minority rights as well through her status. She's got she uses her fame, doesn't she? Yeah, she's got visibility, so she can make a difference.
Not necessarily because I agree with all of his policies. There are lots of things that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
But I think as a leader, it goes well to be inclusive, make connections with people in the LGBT community, make connections with refugees, speak to people who have contributed to the country in significant ways that otherwise may get overlooked by the media. And I think he generally stands for just kind of a diverse sort of office, I suppose.
Team building activities require people to work together to solve problems while improving the ability to think rationally and strategically using simple techniques and learning. So team building in various places, like example, sports team, workplace organization, groups, teams and further. So in this session here we will be looking at skills and traits with some fun activities with each will make us learn some traits in the team.
As leaders, you and I have to live between 2 poles. And I want to talk about that very briefly. The two poles I mean is one of the poles is the pole of self-interest, which governs most of our lives. When people want to study, get a job, run for president, whatever we want to do, it's very much self-absorbed and it's about self-interest. But the other pole that we also have to make sense as leaders is the human predicament, the human situation, our solidarity with the human race. And we live constantly between these two poles. One of the great statements I'd like to share with you is a statement ostensibly given by Mahatma Gandhi. You must be the change you wish in the world. You must be the change you wish in the world. Meaning that when we as global leaders think about the world, we often start the struggle by trying to change the world. And Gandhi says that if you want to change the world, you've got to change yourself. In other words, you can't do anything for the human predicament if you don't contain self-interest. The other thing I want to share with you before I close is what I learned from Mr. Mandela. Mr. Mandela said, you've got to be the person that brings people together. Don't sit around blaming your enemy. You start bringing your enemies and turning them into friends. Gandhi said that too. Our task in life is to be bridge builders. If you want to be a leader, learn to reconcile people. Don't divide people. You'll be a sectarian leader, but you won't be a global leader. And that's the big difference between leading a tribe, leading a faction, and being a global leader. A global leader swallows his pride, her pride, and brings people together. A bridge builder, an honest broker, not out of self-interest, but because transcending self-interest, you bring others together.